Jeremy, a lot of folks looking at this and saying this is like the quicksand moment for crypto. What's happening here?
Thanks for having me on, Andrew. Yeah, I mean, it's complex. I think for many people, this is sort of a shock. I think there was a perception that FTX was one of the strongest firms in the space. Of course, you know, FTX International, which is, I think, really what we're talking about here, you know, operating out of another jurisdiction, not subject to U.S. regulations or emerging U.S. regulations. And so I think at some level, not the visibility that you would typically have in regulated markets context. And I think, you know, there are real questions about, you know, sort of downstream impact and things like that. Is this another major domino that's going to, you know, subsequently knock down a number of other dominoes? We've had a number of those happen this year. Is there a balance sheet hole? Is that balance sheet hole, you know, on the FTX side,
right.
You know, one thing, but there's obviously, you know, kind of interdependent other entities and kind of questions about that as well. So I don't think we have enough information to really evaluate it, but certainly a shock for many people. And I think underscores, you know, very much the importance of having a clear regulatory structure.
But Jeremy, what's your perception of what comes next? And let me just throw out, and I don't want to speculate, but let me just say that this deal with Binance is not done. In fact, it's subject to due diligence. So it is very possible that you could get under the hood and say, I'm not doing this. And then what?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a lot we don't know. We don't know what economics look like. We don't know ultimately, you know, whether there is a significant liability, what that is, and the value of that from a purchaser's perspective. We don't know the details of a term sheet. Is it something that other potential firms could compete around? We also don't know what might emerge in terms of regulatory, you know, inquiries around this as well. And so there's a lot of unknowns still. And like you said, I think there's uncertainty about the deal itself. And obviously a scenario where there's a giant hole and it is not filled would obviously be, you know, kind of far worse than is even contemplated right now.
Do you look at this and say that there's more shoes to drop? Do you look at this and say that, you know, look, a lot of smart people had invested not just in crypto, but FTX in particular, in Sam Bankman-Fried, in his judgment, in the idea that this was a firm that only 2 or 3 months ago was worth $32 billion.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, without knowing all the details, it is hard to know. I think, you know, one of the key things that people are focused on is sort of what's happening with the FTX exchange token, FTT. That was actually a kind of core source for a little bit of the kind of tussle that was happening and subsequent market activity. You know, I think there is speculation that there are, you know, significant counterparties that, you know, kind of took that as collateral for loans. And so that's unknown. You know, there have been, you know, kind of people surmising about the amount of those loans and who are those downstream, you know, lenders. And those are open questions that could lead to subsequent significant issues for other firms.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.